Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. You know what? I understand where Claire's coming from. I really do understand where Claire's coming from. So she comes over to the house. She tells Nikki and Victoria that she saw Jordan. She talked to her. She lied to her. She pretty much gave her a false sense of security and was like, you know what, listen, I'm on your side and I'm a black sheep of the family. Da 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 da. And she trusts. And she also tells them, don't tell Victor. Now, the thing is, she wants to end Jordan because at this point, the prisons are a joke. How many times can you going to sit there and send this chick to jail just so that way she can break out again? And she even says, no offense to Grandpa, but like, he hasn't done anything. And they don't even know about the whole cage incident because what was his plan? You're just going to, keep her in his dungeon until what? Because even Cole was like, she's either going to escape, she's going to hurt somebody, and then what? Which, by the way, Victoria's going to be pissed at Cole when she finds out that he knew about Jordan being in the cage and didn't say anything. I don't know if it's going to be the end of their romance or anything like that, because, to be honest, who else is Victoria's options at this point? And she tells both of them, hey, listen, I'm doing this with your help or without your help. Now, I saw in the comment section when I was watching this morning, somebody was like, I can't believe they're not sitting there telling Victor it's sick. Which I thought that was an over exaggeration. But on one hand, I understand why they're like, why don't you just go to Victor? Victor, like Nikki says, Victor has the resources, he has the experience to sit there and deal with people like Jordan. I guess one could sit there and argue, divide and conquer. See, Victor stood there, he's still dealing with Ian and trying to get Sharon back. I know that we call him the great Victor Newman, but that's definitely spreading itself very, very far. And on the other hand, maybe he should. Maybe they should sit there and tell him about Jordan. Because Nick already has suspicions that Ian is not working alone. While he's sitting there telling Victor in this episode. And the conversation doesn't really go too much anywhere until Chance gets there and Chance shows them the footage of Sharon getting, chloroformed and dragged away. So at this point, the whole her drowning in the river and everything like that, that's done. Because that's what Nick was sitting there worried about. But Nick was also sitting there thinking that it could have been a setup, so I guess he's vindicated in that sense. Of course, that does not mean that they're any closer to sit there finding Sharon. Which, by the way, let's talk about Sharon for a hot minute. This is like literally the definition of overacting. For 30-something minutes, all wishing that they're watching this. That's literally what she was doing. I'm like, boo, you got food, you got water. Why are you panting like you're in the Sahara Desert or something? Like, what are you doing at this point? And this is nothing towards the actress, but it's just like, why are you... It's weird because it's like she's being over dramatic. And granted, I understand how that sounds. She is God knows where. She's shackled. She's worried that she's going to get out. She's worried about her family. She knows her family is worried about her. So I get that, okay? I get all that. But even with that being said, Jesus Christ. Boo, like, that, like, honestly, tell you the truth, here's the thing. Watching a scene like that, This is the reason why most people do not take soap operas like as far as serious, and it's just like, oh yeah, yeah, that's a soap opera for you. Because it was just this level of overact. I'm like, and of course, you're trying to get this, I don't know, crowbar or bar or something like that, and she's been trying to do that for literally 30 minutes, and she mushes up the strength. By the way, she has like heels with like points on it, so like she's more better off in that situation than a man would, if we're gonna be honest. But she does wind up getting it. Then she just starts hitting the chain, just hitting the chain. And I'm just like, okay. I think there might have been a better way, but I get being panicking and fearing and not really in your right senses. So I get that. So Billy Boy, Daniel, and Philip are talking, and Daniel don't like where Billy is going and pretty much kind of taking taking Philip for this ride that he believes is going to go nowhere. And here's the thing: Billy does not do much to sit there and convince him that you know they're going to actually gain something at the end of this trip, because he's looking at it like, one, this is unrealistic as far as Jocelyn that they're trying to go up against Victor, a guy with a damn near bottomless bank account and endless resources. That's number one. Number two, he feels that Philip is doing nothing but just going to waste her time, her energy, to get nothing at the end, where she could be sitting there focusing on something more positive. And he also just feels like Billy doesn't even really have a plan. And for most of the conversation, he doesn't even really sit there and say he has a plan until towards the end. Billy's just sitting there looking at him like he's just Mr. Negative, but like I don't think that he's being Mr. Negative. I think he's just being realistic. And Daniel even sits there and says, hey, listen, we can do something on our own. We don't need him. Let's just be very clear. We don't need him. We're good. We can sit there and figure out something. It doesn't have to be video games, but we can do something else that is better, that is a better use of your time, and not going down this destructive, negative path and just, he just feels like it's not good. So he says his piece. Billy says, I have a plan, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you what it is. Daniel's like, yeah, okay. You know what? I'm going to go. But, yeah. His plan. See, this is the reason why people don't take Billy seriously. Now, I like Billy. I do. But I also understand on moments like this is why people don't take you seriously. You want to know what his big plan is? Destroy Adam. You know, really just destroy him, hurt him, and everything like that. Hurt his reputation, as far as him, being in the public, being the mouthpiece of Newman Media. And Phyllis is like, people already have a low opinion of him. What are we going to sit there and say or do that's going to make him look even worse than people already think that he is? Also, Phyllis is like, you know what? If you're going to be honest, this isn't a plan. This is revenge. You want to either get back Chelsea or you just are upset with him because he blew up your relationship. But that's not a plan. That even when he said that, he was like, "Oh, we'll destroy Billy. We will destroy Adam." She was like, "Wait, that's your plan? That's it?" And Billy was like, "Well, I see a lot of potential in just being, very simple about it. This isn't simple. This isn't a plan. This is not a plan." And even Phyllis was like, "Okay, what happens if you do that and then Victor starts to destroy your life?" He's not thinking about that. This is the reason why Phyllis is like, you try to get me roped back up into his plan, and you have nothing. You have nothing at this point. That's your plan, is to sit there and go after Adam? Bro, we thought you actually had an actual plan. I want to believe that you had an actual plan. This isn't a plan. This is just a waste of time. And you're dragging Phyllis down when she could be doing other things. I'm like, Did you forget something that Billy, at the end of the day, you're rich. She is not. Okay? So, like, you may have a lot of time to sit there and be doing all this stupidness, but she doesn't. So, like, it's just it's so stupid. It's so dumb. This is generally the gist of this episode at this point. Now, I haven't done a wine review in a while. I love doing them when I have the time to do it. In all reality, in a perfect world, I wish I had the time to sit there and do all four of them, but it's just not realistic. But anyway, share this video because it really does help. I want to thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything, and I will see you in the next video.